Hello on this beautiful day. It certainly is beautiful here, though very cold. Isn't it wonderful how the day changes one's mood? It certainly does that for me. In these readings, the fourth Sunday of Lent. This Sunday, the theme seems to be light versus darkness. The light comes so that we're able to see. In the darkness, we cannot see. But recognizing the darkness for what it is, that, in a sense, even though we're still in the darkness, is something of the ability to see. In this first reading from Samuel, Samuel goes to Jesse and wants to choose, because the Lord has sent him there, wants to choose one of his sons to lead the people of Israel. And Jesse presents 7 sons. And Samuel says to Jesse, after the 7 sons have been presented, "The Lord has not chosen any one of these. Are these all the sons you have?" Samuel asks Jesse. Well, Jesse replies, "There's still the youngest, who's tending the sheep. Apparently they left him out in the fields because they didn't think he had any potential." Well, in comes David, that 8th son who was left out there in the fields. And the Lord said, "There, anoint him, David, for this is the one." This is the one. They were not able, Jesse, or I guess anyone else around, was not able to see what the Lord saw. That is, that in David there was tremendous potential to be the king of the emerging Israel as a great nation. They're able to see. That's the light. And recognizing that we're not able to see, that is part of the light, because that impels us, pushes us to seek the light, because we know we are in the darkness. There is the key to the gospel reading. Jesus says, "Well, I am in the world, I am the light of the world." How many people saw him at the time and did not see the light, but thought they saw someone who's giving them a problem, like the Pharisees and the scribes and the Sadducees? The blind man is given his sight. And what is the big issue of the Pharisees? Well, he was given his sight on the Sabbath. And they feel that's the law being broken. The light that they live in is the light of the law, not the light of God. The law does give light, but the Lord gives much greater light, far greater light. He was washed and was able to see. Once again, we go back to the last week's idea of the water taking away the sin. And they make a big issue, because the light that is Jesus challenges their darkness. It's a darkness, challenges their darkness, being the Pharisees' darkness, a darkness that the Pharisees embrace and say, this is the light. This is what life is all about. This darkness in which we live is the light. And we don't want anybody disturbing our world by telling us we're in the darkness and telling us we need to live in a light that we really don't want. For God to give you sight, you must recognize your blindness. For God to be your light, you must recognize that you are in darkness. God is not going to give us what we do not think we need, nor want. If we want to live in darkness, God will leave us there. If this man were not from God, the blind man says to the Pharisees, he would not be able to do anything. That should have been enough to shake the Pharisees out of their darkness. Wow, anyone who has the power to give sight to a blind man, this man must be from God. But so strongly did they embrace the darkness that they reject that. So you could see they were steeped in the darkness. Sin can be that way. Sin can blind us to our own darkness. We can be so enamored, so taken with the world that we're a part of, that we're not willing in any way to accept the light. The epistle reading, what is the light? This is a beautiful reading and fits in so perfectly. From Ephesians chapter 5, verses 8 to 14, right in the beginning, brothers and sisters, you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light. For light produces every kind of goodness, righteousness, and truth. Because we could see our way out of the darkness of this world to the light that the Lord shines in front of us, to see His goodness and light. Try to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. That's light. What is the light? God is what life is all about. A life centered in God. He will be the light always. There are many natural goodnesses, but in order to see clearly what is eternally good, only God could show us that. Only God could show us that. The light is, God is what life is all about. Only God can truly give us the insight into truth. Only God can be the light that can help us to see perfectly. At the end, try to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. A little further down in the epistle. Try to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. Take no part in fruitless works of darkness. The devil's no dummy. He knows that in our human nature, there's so many things that are so attractive to us of this world. We love pleasure. We love the pleasures of this world. And even though in some cases they're quite innocent, He can use them to attract us away from the light that is God. So we settle on something that is far inferior. But only a life that is centered on God, that has the vision that only God can provide. He can only be the true light. So we always seek to do what is pleasing to the Lord. And we ask Him all the time, show us your will. Show us what pleases you. And give us the grace to be able to do it. God bless you all. As we wend our way through the Lenten time and are purified by this Lent.